Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme donuts since 1937, where you get them hot.
Powered by Panama City Toyota. Your home for Auburn Tiger basketball. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey! Hot tub! Don't do that to me. I'm full of water. I say hot tub. Hey. Hot, stay, very hot. I say hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Say hot tub. Hey. Rubber dub and hot tub. Rubber dub and me. Shall I get the hot tub? Yeah. Will it make me sweat? Yeah. Shall I get the hot tub? Yeah. Will it make me wet? Yeah. Well.
I had to find mine. I hope my son didn't take it, but like the shirt you got on there, Mr. Manley. Jim had his on yesterday.
Yeah, only the cool kids got these shirts on.
Yeah, I know, really.
We are the
Wildcat,
cool kids.
you look handsome today in that beautiful.
I know, it matches my
Carolina blue.
eyes.
Man, thank you for doing that. That was sweet of you.
You're welcome. I heard you say, Jared, I bought you something.
yeah, right. He goes in my closet sometimes, and hey, this is pretty good. Next thing I know is walking out the door. Anyway, welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the official station of Auburn basketball. And what a year for the Auburn Tigers. But we got Dr. Eugene Glenn Sue Manley in here today. Brian's with us, Wildcats with us, beautiful Wednesday. Dr. Ward, 7:30, a state championship, Hudson Bay High School. Unbelievable coach will come on at 7:15, and then the man, the myth, the legend, Mark McLeod, 8:30. So we're looking forward to all that today.
Busy.
Well, let's go ahead and get rolling. Glenn, would you wouldn't mind giving us the local, what's going on? I think Arnold just won another state championship, which is the record. More state championship from Arnold than any school, even the oldest school in the nation, Bay High School. Oh, go ahead, Glenn.
Take that, Manley. All day yesterday.
I'm glad you weren't listening yesterday.
So, we had to farm out all the coaches, I guess. You know
I said that. I did. I said, he's going to take credit because they all came from Bay.
So, but no, I'll tell you what, give a shout out to the Bluntstown girls basketball and also Holmes County girls basketball.
Right.
They're in the rural Final Four, and at 12 o'clock our time, Bluntstown takes on Wildwood. Wildwood's 23-0, and Bluntstown's 20-6. And John Ellerby's the coach there, and he had been the boys basketball coach at Malone for quite a few years, and so he came back, and he's got those girls rolling. Also, Holmes County, they are playing at 4 o'clock our time. They are playing Hilliard. Holmes County 25-2 and Hilliard 18-8, and the two winners will play Friday at 4 o'clock our time. So hopefully it'll be Bluntstown and Holmes County. Again, you have to go all that way to play each other, but you know what? That's the way it goes. And this is the rural girls. And in baseball last night, it was Bay High 4, Fort Walton Beach 0, and it was Mosley 11, Mariana 1, North Bay Haven 6, Liberty County 5, Bluntstown 3, Rutherford Rams 1, and it was Weewa 23 and Crossroad Academy, that's out of Quincy, 23-1 last night. Walton, big game at Walton last night. Walton 1, Chipley 0, and it was Lighthouse Christian 1, Fort Walton Beach 0, Alpha 16, and it was Vernon 1. That is baseball. And in softball, Bay played Vernon last night. Well, they didn't play. It was postponed. And then Arnold plays Marlin. Arnold Marlins play the Mariana Bulldogs today at 6. Last night, it was Mosley and girls softball. Mosley 25, Pensacola 7. It was North Bay Haven 7, Wakulla 6, Rutherford 12, Wakulla Christian 6. It was South Walton 9 and Freeport 5. Walton 14, Destin 0, and Weewa 7, Holmes County 3. Probably some of their players are on the basketball team also. And I don't remember the score, but Walton's boys and South Walton's boys, South Walton girls soccer team both got defeated yesterday in soccer. They played, of course, some private Christian. We recruit them all over the nation's schools, but we declare them public school
state champs. Absolutely.
So that's a lot of baseball. Not much going on today. So those were outlying schools, and so just get out there and support your team. And big schedule on Thursday. So.
Thank you, Dr. Eugene.
You're welcome.
Manley. Sue, I tell you what, we throw the word around legend, but there truly is a living legend here in Bay County.
I appreciate that.
This person has put 55 plus, let me say it again, 55 plus years working for Bay District Schools.
Oh, yeah.
A living legend. Her name, Janice Solaris. She was the first principal ever at Arnold High School. She hired the entire staff. I'll never forget when I heard the school was going to be open. Tommy Santamart was the county AD. Had met him before, and he told me the process would take place. And the first time I met her, it was incredible. I said she was incredible then. She's incredible now. The legendary Janice Solaris, 55 plus years. Minister, I knew her husband, great guy. He was in Vietnam like you.
We talked about that.
Yeah, great man. Passed away. It's been a long time now since he's been gone.
She also started Petronas Elementary too.
That's right, and she married into that family over there. But she was incredible, hard worker. Nobody outworked her. She could solve problems, create problems like no other.
Still does. She
still does.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said? Great problem. No, I'm just kidding. She was incredible. I'm telling you. Hard worker. But the kids loved her. And we opened the school up the first day at Arnold High School, the first day school opened. She hired a band to come out and play beach music as the kids were walking on campus. They had all the celebrities in town were up around where now they have a Marlin, the flagpole and everything between the main building and the gym. But she had that band playing, and the kids loved it. Let me tell you what she did. She wanted, we spent some money. I don't think they'll ever give anybody the freedom we had when we opened up Arnold. And we got just about everything we needed. Almost everything we wanted, we about got. But she wanted the bleachers in the gym. I think that's one area. I won't get into too much of this. We got to be careful. But we wanted to. She wanted the place to put all the kids, and she knew how fast, how rapidly the school would grow. We opened up a little small 1A school, and within 4 years, we were the second biggest school, I think, in Bay. Maybe a little bit longer than that. But she wanted these huge bleachers in. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you knew about this.
Yeah,
Did you know about this? When you would let the bleachers completely out on both sides, you had about 10 yards of court to play basketball or anything else.
I remember that. Yeah.
So it was funny. But we had all the people in there, buddy. That place was incredible. She got everybody up in there. She had all kind of meetings. But she was a motivator. She could motivate you. She could get you to do anything. She could get you to do things you didn't think you could do. I loved her. But she was something else, man. And so, Janice, I hope you know how many people, how many kids, not just kids, but how many kids, teachers, community members, administrators, you affect, what you did in their lives were incredible. And, a lot of people go through life, don't do. Let me look at somebody. A lot of people go through lives.
All ages.
Yeah, a lot of people go through life, don't do much for others.
Yeah, we get. She came up to when I was at Bozeman.
I'm just kidding.
She came to Bozeman and said, you're the only guy around here, only coach with a history degree. So I ended up teaching honors American history. I was like,
she didn't ask you, did she? She
no,
just got to tell you.
I'm going to put you in there. And so I had to, I said, well, the baseball coach has a science degree since you're looking for So Jeff was going to beat me with a stick but
she'd give you a job to do. She'd let you do it.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, if she saw something that needed to be corrected, she would correct it.
And then, she always, when I was the AD at Bay again, she was there. She helped me with a lot of things too. She actually manned one of the gates at the football games. So. And
I'm going to say this about her. She does not age. I'm looking at a picture of her right now. She was beautiful back then. That was 25 years ago. She's still beautiful. She is a beautiful lady inside and out. But to give up your life, 55 years. She's still working now. I think she's still working now.
Is, yeah.
55 years, still hard at it. She loves teaching. She loves kids. She loves people. And I don't have the ability to give her the credit she's due towards her. But she was special, and they all named something over there after her. She's a huge academic person. Maybe the library or something. The Chancellor's Library, Media Center. They call it Media Center now.
Yeah. Yep.
I never was in one much.
Yeah, it was easier to spell when it was library, so you know what I'm saying?
Library.
They both were hard for me to spell, Media Center and Library.
Well, it's hard when you never go in one.
That's what I was about to say. Is Media Center 2 words or one? I don't even know. But did you ever have somebody, that touched your life that was in education? Your
what
teacher,
comes to mind is
principal?
My 6th grade teacher, Lewis Burns, was his name. And what he taught us was respect. Yeah. Whenever we got out of line in class and did something wrong, he would make us take the letters and then the first page in the dictionary. And you would have to copy R, copy E.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to turn that in the next day. And sometimes he'd give you 1 respect or 2 respects, which means you had to do it 2 or 3 times.
Anybody else you can think of like administrator, a coach?
My martial arts instructor.
Yeah. Well, see, that's good. That's the same thing. Brian, any teacher?
That wasn't anything to do with school.
Administrator, anything?
I mean, I had a lot. The thing I remember most about administrator is my principal, all the way up through the 8th grade, lived right around the corner from us. So it was bad enough when I got paddled at school, but then he'd walk over and tell my mom. Yeah, I get it at home too. But no, I had a lot of really great teachers at every school I went to, and some administrators as well. Not, I had a few run-ins with a few of those, but I
don't think there's teachers realize that, and coaches. I don't think you all realize the impact you have on somebody that for the next 50, 60 years, you're in their thoughts occasionally.
Glenn,
so congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Glenn, before World War II, when you were going to school, what was it like back in the day? I mean,
you had to wear a suit to school. No, tie. No, I had some really good classroom teachers that, I had some that were really great, and had some that if I became a teacher, I wasn't going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But and then I had some really good coaches. I was fortunate enough to have. I had the same 4 coaches for almost every sport, even though it was a 3A high school. And so it was really good. And I learned great respect for wrestlers back then. We had a wrestling team.
Always had respect.
And we would be practicing basketball, and they would be we had like a 4-story school, and they would be running up the stairs from down the floor and all that. And then when we got through, they would bring the mats out and start practicing wrestling. I was going, holy crap, I don't want any part of that. But, it's always been that. And then some great football coaches, great baseball coach. And so everything, like a lot of things I say today to some of the kids, it reminds me of the guys that coached me. The
one that's sticking out to me, and he was great, but so I changed high schools, in the middle, and going from public school to private school, they were on a different track. So me and one other guy had transferred into UMS, and physics was a freshman course at UMS, but we were juniors. And so we were the 2 juniors in there, and of course we were the cut-ups and whatever. So Mr. Wendling, our physics teacher, who was hilarious. He was a great guy, great teacher and all like that, but he used us basically as the guinea pigs because we were that. So whenever we had the electric shock things and, stuff like that, he was like, Dad, Ronnie, get up here. Let me show y'all something. He would get us going, but he was great. He was great.
I like that. Yeah, I need 2 volunteers.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Today is Wednesday. It is world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti on Thomas Drive. Come check it out. You will absolutely love it. We'll get there around 11. Please come have a great meal at the legendary J. Michael's. Now, you're in Lynn Haven. Get on to Beef Row Brace in Lynn Haven. Pat Perno's the city commissioner there. He owns Beef Row Brace Lynn Haven. Their special today is 10 wings and a side for $9.99. Go check it out. You'll absolutely love it. And when you're down there, where are you going to head? You're going to go to David Adamson Designer Jewelry, and that gold is at an all-time high, highest it's ever been in the history of history. Yes.
So take your gold, get it checked out, get it weighed, get it appraised, get it insured. maybe you might want to sell it. You might want to trade it in on a new piece of jewelry.
I like to have the gold in Glenn's teeth. We would be rich if we had that.
I like to have that gold plate in his head.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to Janice Solares. If you see her today, tell her congratulations, 55-plus years. I'll never forget, I told her, I said, Janice, let's go after Doug. Let's go get the best in baseball. She put together the best faculty to ever open a school. Year one was incredible. She did her homework. She checked out everybody. All those teachers back then that first year were incredible. And I think there's a couple left. I think Angie Dunlap's still there. Maybe a few others, but she brought some great people in there. She had that thing rolling. That was a great school. We loved going to school every day with her. She was incredible. The legendary Janice Solares. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the hole. Your home for the most live college basketball in the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a light breeze at 6 miles per hour coming out of the southwest. For tonight, a variety of partly cloudy skies and slight fog and a low near 59. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning and then some clouds and a high around 69. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Imagine this. You step onto a beautiful boat, the sun on your face, a drink in your hand, and no boat payments, no maintenance, and no stress. Carefree Boat Club of Panama City is giving you the chance to join with $0 down. No upfront membership fee, just unlimited boating. Hurry, this $0 new membership drive won't last long. Call 850-964-6400 or visit carefreeboats.com. Start living the boat life without the boat hassle. Carefree Boat Club. Boating made easy.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
You don't know what his problem is. But it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
That don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Wednesday. On every Wednesday, it's Bay High School Day.
That's not the Bay High fight song.
And we've got the legendary Bay High School employee. And we were talking about Janice Solares. We got to talk about Glenn Manley. How many years altogether at Bay? 30?
Yeah.
30-something years at Bay High School. Not all what he's done there as a football coach, as a AD, giving back money, giving back time. People love him. He is a legend there. And I want to thank you like we did Janice today. This is Appreciation Day here.
30 years just to graduate high school.
I know. Well, it took me 8 to finish college, so that tells you.
The things Glenn has done.
That's why he says he's twice as smart.
That's right.
Yeah. We could tell a lot of good stories on you. I'll never forget a coach's. We got Coach on. Yeah. Let's shut up about Glenn. We'll come back to you. You're talking about a legend. This guy is incredible. State championship coach. Coach Hudson, how are you doing today, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing great. Good morning.
Good morning. We hadn't talked to you in a week. Give us a rundown. What is happening at Bay High School baseball? Give us some good news and talk about the players, man. Without them, we have nothing.
Well, it's been a good week. We had a 3-game. We played 3 ball games since we last talked last Wednesday. So we went had a 2-game. I guess what do you call it? Rough road there with a couple games. When you go to Mosley and then turn around and go to Bozeman the next day, that's a tall order. I don't know who did that scheduling, Coach Manley. I don't know.
There you go. I knew it.
I'll have to take the blame for that myself. I have to take the blame for that one. But it went to Mosley and on Thursday, and I'll tell you what, they have a good 1-2 punch over there with Ryan Harless and Carter Payne pitched against us over there. He had them both ready to go, and they really did a good job against us. So those are two of the top arms in the county already, and they're just sophomores. So, we competed with them. We can't make them. You can't make some kind of unforced, uncommon, not very, kind of easy play errors. We had a few of those and dropped a fly ball in the outfield and scored a couple and got away from us a little bit there, 8-1. So that was, disappointing. Andrew Scott threw the ball really well for us in the starting role, and probably deserved a little bit better outcome than that. But tough games on the road against good teams. You just can't make any. You really got to play errorless baseball there, and maybe get a break or two to go your way. But none of that happened, and then we parlayed that into the Bozeman game on Friday, and we pretty much really gave ourselves no chance on that one. But we had a bad start there. Got out to. We walked 5 guys in the first inning and then hit one on top of that. So that was a rough way to go there. You get Bozeman a 4-run lead in the first inning. Yeah. They know what to do with it. They put teams away with the best of them. If you look, I don't think they've scored less than a dozen runs in a game all year, except for the South Walton pitching staff over there that's better than a lot of D1 schools. So
they are good.
So Bozeman, they are. They're outstanding. But Bozeman was really good. They can swing the bat. I just think Bozeman's a really, really top-notch team. I think they're gonna make a big run through that 3A or 2A. I guess they're 2A, and so they put us away that night. That's for sure. And it just was not a good night for us there. So. Took a couple on the chin there, and then came back last night and really bounced back really well. We played Fort Walton Beach last night at home, and actually Trace Brooks started on the mound for us. He actually started that game against Bozeman, and he has thrown fantastic for us all year and just had one of those days Friday. So we went ahead and turned around and put him back on the mound yesterday, and he was fantastic, 6 innings and 1 walk and 7 Ks in the game, and just really controlled Fort Walton Beach's offense. And they had one inning where they had an opportunity to score some runs. They loaded them up with 2 outs, but other than that, they're really he just was fantastic. And so it also helped us that he gave us that outing too, because I was going to start him anyway and get him back up on that horse, but. We also had 2 pitchers right before the game went down on us. One of them fouled a ball off his ankle and swole up pretty bad, and then another one just got sick right before the game started. So we were down a couple of pitchers as well, and so Trace was a big job for him coming back for us last night. So we won 4-0 there. If they had scratched across some runs against a pretty good lefty that Fort Walton Beach had on the mound, so. That gets us to today.
I've been following you for years now on our show. One thing I can always say about your teams, wherever you start out, you always see improvement throughout the season. Your kids always improve. They always get better. And saying that, the schedule you've played so far, even though you might have come up short against Bozeman and things, it's still going to help you. And tell me if I'm right. I think I'm saying this right. Because the strength of schedule counts when they get in there and do these votes and strength of schedule. Mm-hmm. Am I correct on that? So even though you might have come up with the short end of the scoreboard, as you improve and things go the right way at the end of the year, that can come back and help you, correct?
Absolutely. The strength of schedule is huge. And, playing these games early also, how that goes, it shows you your mistakes. It shows you, the first time you get smacked in the mouth, So, all of those are good things. But it does help us with that strength of schedule. And that is important because now it's all about the playoffs. It's nothing to do with districts anymore. It's all about, the rankings and their strength of schedule, and your record matters too. But 5-2 with 2 losses to 2 teams who are going to be ranked up there pretty good. Bozeman should be super high. They're going to have just a great season, and Mosley also is going to win a bunch of games, and they're going to have a high strength of schedule as well in their classification.
It doesn't get any easier coming at the end of the week either, does it?
No. We get a little trip over to Arnold out there on the beach. That'll be fun, man. I'm looking forward to that as well. I really am. Playing teams like that, those are teams that show us what we want to be. The things that you need to do, and with we've got quite a few inexperienced guys out there still. That's going to help us. I always look forward to challenges like this, and I think the kids are excited about it. Anytime you're playing the Bozeman's and the Mosleys and the Arnolds of this county, it's a game you look forward to, and so we're ready to go out and have another. See if we can answer the challenge.
I'm sitting here thinking about what he just talked about, the teams he's played. South Walton can win it all. Bozeman is really good. Arnold, who knows what they're going to do. I mean, you're right. That schedule you guys, that's tough. Does it ease up any towards the middle or the end?
We still have decent scheduling all the way throughout there. We do. We have. I think we'll be done with. We'll have Arnold again a little bit later through the year. Bozeman again a little bit later through the year. We host a tournament. We've got a pretty big week coming up next week after this Arnold Friday night as well, because I know we play Walton twice, and Walton, that whole 331 corridor up and down through there, boy, they are just growing like crazy over there.
Yeah.
And Walton's also a part of that, and they've got a good group over there as well. We play them twice next week. And then Rutherford Friday. So we have Tuesday, Thursday, Walton, and Friday Rutherford. I think for me that's a big week for us to see where we are after playing, the pretty tough beginning of the year schedule, and see what that'll do for us down the road. And I think that'll be a big week for us next week.
I want to ask you something. It's kind of off the wall, but you've been in it for so long, been so successful all these years. You listen to experts talk, especially for college athletics. I don't know if it's going to be in high school or not, but they say the home advantage in basketball is probably the most advantage you can get playing a home basketball game compared to football and baseball. What's your take on that? I mean, you've done it for so long. Is it that big advantage playing at home compared to, like, you got to be at Arnold, you got to be at Mosley? Talk about that.
Yeah, I think the home field advantage is probably a bigger advantage when it's when you go out of county to another. Somebody from the south, let's say Walton County, come here. Us going to Pensacola. When you travel outside the county, it may be a little different, possibly harder as far as maybe being on the road and getting road calls versus being home and getting home calls. As far as being around town, I think it's more of, you don't want anybody coming in your backyard and it's taking your lunch money. I think that it's a lot of that, and being the home team in baseball is an advantage because you get the last crack at it. And a lot of times in high school, getting them last three outs is tough, and it's even tougher when it's the last three of the game. If you're a home team, getting those last three, even if it doesn't work out, you still get to hit. And so that's a little bit mentally, I think, too, for players when you have to shut them down in the bottom half of the inning, and if you don't, it's over. So, I think that's just a little bit of a baseball home field advantage in general. But, everybody wants to play at home, but a lot of times kids like to get out. I know I've had several teams that wanted to get up there and hit first. They were excited to play. Yeah. They wanted to hit and jump in and get a lead on some people, getting that first run across the board at the top of the first. So, but I don't think it's quite the same advantage in basketball as it is in basketball.
Okay. Well, Coach, I appreciate it. It is Wednesday. It's Hudson Day. It's Bay Day. It's Manly Day. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job. I knew you'd turn that thing around over there. Unbelievable coach. Great person. We appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you next Wednesday. Thank you, Coach.
Great. Thanks for having me. See y'all later.
Great guy.
Great.
All right, if he thinks this year's tough, wait till I make out next year's schedule.
There's a reason Glenn retired. I think they retired him. It is a beautiful. Let's talk about some of our great people. South Oak Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker, a local legend. That guy's done an incredible job with South Oak Title and Closing. All the elite realtors want. They all want it. Everybody wants him because nothing is ever done wrong. Everything's perfect. South Oak Title and Closing, #1. Also, number one, Stevenson Air Conditioning. I love Jason. I love the crew. Trucks in Bay Point all the time. They do an incredible job. Get it serviced every 6 months. It'll last longer. It saves you money on your power bill. Don't go with anybody. Go with local. Go with a local company, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Grew up here, graduated from Mosley High School, the legendary Stevenson Air Conditioning. Dr. Chad Mitchell I love that guy. You talking about a true legend. 25 years giving up his weekends to take care of Bay County athletes. You don't see that anywhere anymore. The legendary Chad Mitchell. People come from all around, Montgomery, Alabama, all over the place, that let his beautiful hands touch them. He touches them deeply.
That's the ultimate house call, isn't it?
Yeah, he is great. He can do it the old-fashioned way. He can also do it the robotic. The guy is unbelievable surgeon, the legendary Chad Mitchell. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. It's a beautiful Wednesday. It's Jan Solaris Day here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. 55-plus years she's given to Bay County students. Love that lady. Beautiful inside and out. Again, it's Solaris Day, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
The Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Yeah, I said it. It's Solaris Day right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. She is a legend, and we have another one on. One day we'll be talking about him. We'll be naming something after this guy. I won't tell you on the air what that will be. The one and only Dr. Ward. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing?
Man, it's great to hear your voice today. It's not crackling. It's not breaking up. That beautiful voice. Doc, you know, what you do, you save lives. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly. Women got the two worst things they have to worry about, skin cancer, breast cancer. You can help with the skin cancer. Where are you located? And what can we do to help to save ourselves? What can we do?
Well, you can find us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Water, Sound, Santa Rosa Beach, Defuniac Springs, Mariana, or Bonifay. And what you can do to protect yourself is, you know, we're heading into spring, so don't forget to cover up, wear your sunscreen. And if you see anything that's changing size, shape, or color, bleeding for no reason, or just you don't like it, come and see us. 5 minutes is all it takes. 233-3376 is an easy way to call and make an appointment.
And I will brag on this man. Twice I've had surgery. Unbelievable. I can't say that about Southwest Florida. Fort Myers, I can't say that there, but they were good, but they were nothing like we have up here. We're fortunate to have him here. He does an incredible job. I encourage you, if it doesn't look right, feel right, go make an appointment. And if you have to have something done, you're in great hands. Believe me, you're in great hands. Doc, the Gators last night, I'll be honest with you, I didn't see that coming. The Georgia Bulldogs, they stormed the court. You know, and it was funny, the commissioners were just talking about this in their meetings about, you know, storming the court. Basketballs can be very dangerous. The football games, they're talking about different ways to make this go away. I don't think it's going to go away. Georgia went completely nuts. I don't know if you saw it or not. After the game, if you were down there, you're lucky you didn't get stomped on. I wanted to throw Glenn down there, but he was not around. What did you think about that last night? I mean, I've been bragging on Florida like, wait, watch out, they might win it all. Of course, you know, Auburn lost to Florida, and Auburn bounced back and looked stronger than ever. Is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What's your thoughts on this Florida basketball game?
Well, you know, we kind of, you know, it's hard to win on the road in the SEC. You know, we went to Tennessee and lost pretty badly there, and then rolled off, you know, 9 games in a row, or I think it was 9 games in a row winning. So, you know, you go on the road and, you know, get behind. I think we were behind 39-13, and you know, it's a tough place. It's a tough situation to put yourself in. You know, they battled back. You know, took a brief lead at the very end of the game, but you know, just like I think you were talking to Coach Hudson about home field advantage. You know, Georgia got so many calls that were very, very questionable. I don't know if you saw the 3-pointer that that Blue Cane kid made. There was an illegal moving screen that opened him up. It should have been a foul. I mean, it should have been called, and they did it. I mean, so you know, if you know, if a team's able to break the rules to win, you know, then that happens. Of course, we didn't make our free throws, which would have helped us tremendously as well. But yeah, there were a lot of really bad calls in that game too. And you know, Georgia ended up winning that game. You know, it happens. You know, it's a long season, and there's a reason you don't go undefeated in basketball, even if you're really, really good. But, you know, we got A&M coming to Gainesville on Saturday, and, you know, it's a top 10 matchup, and we win that game, and we're still in good shape, and we'll be playing Alabama, you know, next weekend, and not this weekend, but the following weekend for that number 2 seed in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, and speaking of the SEC tournament, I want to ask you this, because you listen to all the experts talk on Saturday mornings. Some of them make the comments that it might be tougher to win the SEC than it is getting to the NCAA tournament. What's your take on that? The SEC is loaded, if you listen to the experts, and I heard the same thing in football. It didn't play out at the end, but I don't know if that's because we beat each other up or what, but basketball, we seem like really, really good.
You got 7 of the best 12 teams in the country in the SEC. I mean, look, you got Auburn, you got Alabama, you got Tennessee, you got Florida, you got A&M, you got Missouri, you got Kentucky. I mean, those are all 7 teams that can beat anyone on any given day. So, you know, obviously there's this kind of a second tier of teams: Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Georgia, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, and Texas that you know that aren't quite at that level. But when you have 7 teams that can legitimately roll off, you know, a win against anybody, yeah, I definitely think the SEC tournament is going to be tougher to win than the NCAA tournament.
Hey, did you tell me you're going to try to get up there to the tournament?
Absolutely, yeah. I already got you know, airfare and hotel rooms booked. I just need tickets now. So anybody out there got a beeline on tickets, give me a shout. Maybe ESPN 104.3 can help me out.
Oh man, we would probably get you sitting on the court. Let me look into that. I'll send you an invoice first, though.
Yeah, I do. I don't expect to go for free. I'm just looking for entry. Yeah.
Hey, all right, I'm going to play. We're going to ask all three of you experts in here today. Here's your question. Glenn, don't look over here. Here's your question, and I want you to do the very best you can. Okay, I put money on Dr. Ward. College football, we know how big it is, especially in the SEC, Big Ten. I mean, we live for it. Now, this question is, the state with the most
Alabama
in the class of 2026, next year's class, 2026, on threes, top 300 players, which state has the most? And let me rephrase this. Give me 4 states, rank them, who has the top 300 players in these states? The top 4 states.
The most players in the top 300?
Yes, in the top 4 states.
So I mean, you got to look at population.
That's right.
Come
Exactly.
on, like that's gonna be easy. So I put California lower though because I just don't think that their athletics is they're more interested in having boys playing boys playing in girls sports than actually having competitive boys sports. So Texas is probably number 1 because it's got more people than Florida. I'm going to say Florida's number 2. Okay. I'm going to say California is number 3. And then probably because of population, Georgia is probably number 4 because I don't think Pennsylvania and New York produce enough athletes. So that would be, if I had to rank them in order, that would be the order.
That was pretty incredible. What do you got? What's your order?
Well, is he right or not?
I'm not going to tell you. What's your order?
Just to be slightly, I actually think the top 3 are dead on. I'm going to, just to be different, I'll put Ohio at 4.
It's a pretty smart guy. What do you got, Glenn?
I think the same order. I'm still going to stick with California because we keep raiding their quarterbacks unless somebody sneaks out.
A lot of people live in California.
Said a lot of people like Hawaii may sneak a few in there, but I'm not sure.
All right, number 1 state, Doc. Who did you have?
Texas.
Okay, you were very close. You were wrong by 1 player. The number 1 state. Anybody want to give a shot?
No. You got
Delaware.
The number 1 state, Florida. 38 of the top 300 players in the great state of Florida. Number 2, who is it, Doc?
That would have to be Texas.
Texas, 37. Number 3, who is it?
California's got to be.
Georgia. I'm telling you, Georgia's a great job.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. Their coaches are paid as much as even the guys in Texas. There's 2 states that take care of high school football coaches. It's Georgia and it's Texas. Those guys make big money. Some of the coordinators don't even have to teach in some of those schools. It's unbelievable. We had a guy.
Well, they got to pay them big. Russ Probst had like 5 families to feed.
Yeah. I mean, they really take care of coaches in the state of Florida. We have all of our great coaches now leaving the state of Florida, heading up to Georgia. I would never do that unless I have my 30 years in. But Georgia has 34 players in the top 300. And number 4 was California. Yeah. They only had 20. You're right. Wow. I mean, football out there is not as big. It isn't. That's a weird. They got people off the corner coaching. Yeah.
Again, when your focus is off of producing elite athletes, then it's more about, other issues that aren't sports related. It decimates your sport.
They're the number 1 state. California's number 1 state for giving out free needles. So if you got a drug problem, you want to go to California.
I thought it was paper straws. I'm not sure.
And all that stuff.
All right. And public defecation too. Don't forget.
Hey, only Northern California.
All right. Somebody mentioned to say, who's number 5? Number 5.
He said
top 300.
I had Ohio.
Good pick. Yeah. Ohio has great high school athletics, great football there. They had 15 players from not a huge state. Who is number 6?
Hawaii.
It's surprisingly as small as they are. They always put the numbers out.
Let me go back to Ohio. I'm sorry.
All right.
Ohio was tied with another state, North Carolina. North Carolina. The state is growing,
growing
big time, and they got great athletes there. Ohio had 15. North Carolina had 15. Who's number 6? Who would be number 6 state? And actually, it's a tie.
even though their population wouldn't warrant this, they always put out big athletes. Give me Louisiana here.
Yeah, I like it. Or Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah.
And the other state is small, but I know how big sports are in that state. That's nothing else to do there. And believe it or not, it's Mississippi.
Yeah.
Wow. Two small states, football's the king in those states.
You get fast running from the police. I know.
And what was those states y'all two mentioned?
Louisiana.
All right, they were ninth. That's only this year, that's kind of a down year for them. They only had 8 top 300 players.
See, Brian Kelly's killing the whole state.
Thank you. Ahead of them was Tennessee and Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia's growing too. They both had 9 top 12, 9 top 30, 300 players. So that's your top school states in the country. 11 states are, you know what, out of all that, 11 states are producing most of the college football athletes. Football players.
That's Division I, though.
Yeah.
When you start going to these other schools, like North Dakota State and South Dakota and all that. So
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, Doc, real quick, again, give everybody the information how we can get up with you.
Yeah, just give us a holler at 233-3376. You can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Defuniak Springs, Bonifay, Mariana, Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Water Sound, or Santa Rosa Beach.
And I tell you, go see him. Don't put it off. 5 minutes can save your life. We have so many great sponsors. Appreciate every single one of them. One of our favorite places, especially Glenn, get down to Paparazzi. They have lunch specials incredible. $11 and some change. You get a drink, and you basically get a huge pizza, or half a huge pizza. 2 huge slices of pizza. It can feed 2 people, believe me, and you won't be hungry. Just buy 1 extra drink. Their deli is incredible, but the bakery, every day they make from scratch carrot cakes, Napoleon, chocolate. They got it all down. My favorite is the Paradise Cake. It's unbelievable. Go check it out. They got a bar down there now. Paparazzi on Thomas Drive. Paparazzi Pizza's incredible. You will absolutely love it. Do you want to look better, feel better? Thank God, Jason Kovaleski. I have a problem with sleeping. I've taken this stuff now that he gave me. It's all natural. It's incredible. Max Fit Sports Nutrition #1. Not even close. Turpro Pest Control. You want that yard to look beautiful? Patrick can make it happen. Listen to Patrick every Monday morning, 8:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Ward, don't touch that dial. Who would he select if he had the first pick in the NFL draft? What quarterback would he take? We'll ask him when we get back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, puts it in. College basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming,
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a light breeze at 6 miles per hour coming out of the southwest. For tonight, a variety of partly cloudy skies and slight fog and a low near 59. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning and then some clouds and a high around 69. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
If you have a stucco home, a leak is your biggest enemy. Cracks, missing pieces, soft spots, and moisture on the walls are signs that your stucco needs repair. So who do you call? Marinate Construction and Stucco Repair checks all the boxes. Local, family-owned, reliable, trustworthy, and experienced. Marinate Construction and Stucco Repair actually shows up when they say they will. If your stucco makes you say, uh-oh, call Marinate Construction and Stucco today. 850-387-9851.
Introducing Southern Breeze Primary Care. With 45 years of experience, owners Holly Gay and Lisa King bring warm, friendly care, Southern charm, and a family vibe. They are the pros in youth sports, physicals, general health care, Bio-T hormone replacement therapy, certified DOT exams, and Coast Guard physicals. Southern Breeze, 107 West 19th Street, Suite B, 850-248-8002. Walk-ins are welcome and insurance is accepted but not required. Southern Breeze offers breezy solutions for your health care needs.
If you got more A's on your truck than you did in high school, you might be a Bama fan. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, yeah. Listen to that. You are incredible, Wildcat. The music selection by you every day is unbelievable.
It's not what you said earlier.
I know, but he was listening now.
Okay.
So. Welcome back to Solaris Day. Jan Solaris Day right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. If you see her today, give her a big hug. Tell her what a great person she is. Of course, she knows it. She's unbelievable. The life she's influence is unbelievable. 55-plus years in the Bay District schools. She loves kids. She is a wonderful person. The legendary, the living legend, Janice Solaris. It's her day right here on ESPN Northwest
They
Florida.
give you a pin for every 10 years. She should have a real diamond chip in hers.
Yeah, she could sell them and make money.
The ones we get were like zircon or something.
I don't know. They say 55 years, an awful long sentence for any crime.
All right, let's bring him back on, the legend, Dr. Ward. Doc, here we go. Here, in my opinion, if I was, and I've just been watching the games this year.
Alabama,
no doubt. But if I had the NFL draft and I had to pick the top 3 quarterbacks, here's my selection. And it could be different from you guys, and you feel free to tell us who you guys want. Mm-hmm. But here are your the top 3 quarterbacks. Of course, we know about Deion's son at Colorado. Miami's Ward, I thought was an outstanding quarterback. But after watching all of them, I would go with Ole Miss, Jason Dart. He's 6'2", 226. He can run, but he's not. He can run. I think he can run. He's unbelievable. 3 years at Ole Miss, 10,613 yards, 72 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. I just like him. I think he's consistent. Did he win the big game? Did he get him in the playoffs and stuff like that? No, he didn't.
But the surrounding crew.
But did the other two? No. Did Sanders get into a championship?
Right,
did they do anything?
Right.
No. So
they all played in the same playoff.
That's who I would take if it was me. But Doc, you might have 2 other guys totally different than these, or 3 different than these guys. Who's your top 3, and who would you pick, and why?
No, I got the same top 3 as you, and I put Sanders at number 3.
I did too.
He's very athletic. He's got good genetics, but Colorado was not the best team. Their level of competition wasn't quite where I think there are a lot of question marks with how he's gonna do, how he's gonna be a leader, how he's gonna gel with his team, all that sort of stuff. So he's number 3. And then it's really, really close for me between Cam Ward and Jackson Dart. I think Dart is probably a little bit more proven because he's got 3 years of playing in the SEC, and you've got so he's playing NFL talent. Most every conference game. But Cam Ward is really, really good. And even though he didn't play the same level of competition in the various schools that he played at, Miami the last year, he was never the reason that they lost a game. He was the reason they were in most of those games as their defense, did worse and worse as the season progressed. So, they didn't lose to Syracuse because of Cam Ward. They lost to Syracuse because their defense was non-existent. So, I probably would go with Cam Ward over Jackson Dart, but it's really a coin flip between those two, in my opinion.
That's good. That's really good. One thing Saban always said, don't give him a butt. You're a great player, but and the butt to me was Sanders, and I'm curious what the NFL scout's going to do with this. They're pretty sharp. I think this will hurt him. I really do. I saw some games where he threw a ball at the ball boy for the other team. I saw some other behavior things throughout the season. Not something really bad, but things that kind of stood out a little bit. And those things do stand out in the NFL. They check for everything. Now, he's got unbelievable ability. He's a great athlete. The bloodline's unbelievable. Everybody knows who his dad is. But I'm kind of like you. I think he'll finish 3rd in the draft compared to these other 2. And I could be completely wrong. But do you think that will hurt him, like I just talked about, some of the things we've seen? I think you kind of hit on that a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the thing. From an ability standpoint, he's probably right up there with Ward and Dart. It's just, there's just enough that you see there to turn you off just a little bit. And those are when you're trying to pick a franchise quarterback, you got to check every box. You can't have the intangibles and or the maturity box unchecked.
Yeah, and does it hurt him like Elway and even Manning, one of the Manning boys? There are certain teams they didn't want to play for, and they kind of made it known. And his Deion, I think there's certain teams he don't want his son to play for. Does that hurt him too in the recruiting? I would think so a little bit.
I certainly think so. I mean, you don't want your main guy to be a prima donna. And again, Sanders seems like a bit of a prima donna. Reminds me of the USC quarterback that got drafted last year. I thought that was a horrible pick because I didn't think he was very mature.
Yeah, well, I will say this: it worked out well for Elway. I mean, he was unbelievable, and so was Manning. I think he wound up at New York. What's your take on this? Who would you go with the top three?
Well, I think it's those three guys. The thing about it is, though, to me, it's easy to kind of push Sanders back. The one thing I will say he has going for him over the others is he throws the intermediate length ball a little bit better than those two. I think Ward is more mobile, a better leader. Dart is very mobile, can throw the deep ball better than both of them, but and the NFL loves that intermediate throw. Mm-hmm. So if you've got I think it comes down to the team that's drafting. If I've got a team, surprisingly, the Giants are not that far away. They've got some pretty good weapons. If I'm the Giants, I'm looking at Ward or Dart, because I want somebody who's a little older, a little more mature, and can do a couple of the things that fit my team. If you're a team that needs a little more, has a little more time, you might want to take the gamble on a younger Shedeur Sanders and maybe roll the dice longer. So I do think it depends a little bit on who's drafting, the order that they go, and how it plays out. But if you're talking about just generally speaking, I'd probably give Cam Ward a slight edge over Dart because I do like his leadership intangibles just a little bit better. But like I said, Shedeur does a lot of the things the NFL prizes pretty well, and whether or not he'll grow into that maturity leadership role, we'll have to see.
Leo, that's a good point. Then what do you think?
Well, I'm not going to go into all this analyst. I have a big cup of I really don't care. But here's the thing.
Thank you for this update.
Here's the thing. I think Dart and Ward are 1-2. I mean, I think they're interchangeable. I think Sanders, the only thing about him now, he's not going to throw. He says he's not throwing.
Yeah, I saw that.
So here's the thing.
I think Railroad did the same thing.
But none of the top picks have thrown since Baker Mayfield, they were saying.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, I
agree with you.
Yeah, are you worried about somebody who's going to throw, have more zip on the ball than you, or have a better little accuracy? Then you got to come in behind that guy, or you come in first and you don't do so well, and then somebody right behind you zips it around. Are we afraid of competition? So if you can't run in an NFL camp if you're not going to compete.
I'm with you.
The thing is, they've got all this thing. They even know how many times they go to the bathroom every day. So they're going to pick who they think is best for them. And all we can do is sit here and say, well, I think that should have been. But I haven't seen them call me yet and ask me, but
they will. I got a phone. They're waiting on line 2 for Glenn.
No, they're not.
Let me ask you this real quick, Doc. We got to get out of here in a second. Pittsburgh Steelers is one of my teams. I mean, I grew up loving them back in the 70s. They were so good. They got to get a quarterback. What do you think they do? Do they try to trade up to get one of these top 3 quarterbacks? What do you think they're going to do, the Steelers?
Honestly, I got no idea. I mean, maybe they will, maybe they won't. That is something I have no crystal ball into. Who's going to go for who's going to trade up? I mean, yeah, it makes a lot of sense, but how much is it going to cost them to do that?
All right. You want to share my cup if I don't care on that?
Yeah.
Come on, man. We're talking about the Steelers.
I love the Steelers. I got all their stuff. I know the defensive coordinator, but
I just wonder, Coach, you talk about one of your teams. Do you ever roll your ankle jumping on and off all these bandwagons? I'm just worried about your health and
No. Hey, Doc, before we go, let's get. I'm getting beat. What is Solaris Day, not Hale Day?
Take that, Manly.
What's the best way to get with you?
Yeah, you just give us a holler at 233-3376. It just takes 5 minutes to get checked head to toe to make sure your skin is healthy and cancer-free. And if you are hearing us talk about football, NFL, any other thing, you can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Mariana, Bonifay, or Defuniak Springs.
Doc, we love it when you come on. Great job as always. We'll talk to you next Wednesday, and you be safe and be careful, okay?
All right, sounds good, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, we get back. We've got Alabama. We're going to change up the FSU update. Will come on at, say, 15 along with our Auburn, because we got the legendary Mark McLeod come on here talking everything you want to know about what's going on with the Florida Gators, and there's a lot going on down there, by the way. Let's talk about some of our great people. You know, we talk about getting down to Beef O'Brady's today. They're special. Today's 10 wings inside. The food's incredible. If you're in Beef O'Brady's, you're in Lynn Haven, get to Beef O'Brady's today. And once you have a great meal, you want to get that special person in your life, somebody that treats you so well, like Brian and Glenn. Go down to David Adams, see Russ, and get them something special. I'm going to get a knife, a sharp knife.
You can have a custom-made one, you know.
Yeah.
Custom-made.
Yeah. You think OJ was deadly. Anyway. What
these gloves fit.
They will never fit me. Those gloves will never fit me.
As I said before.
I could have got away with it. These gloves must have quit. These gloves don't fit.
My gold is at an all-time high. Go and get your jewelry appraised for insurance purposes. This is a good time of the year to do that at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, Highway 77, Lynn Haven.
And I tell you what, it's Jan Solaris today. We ought to go down there and get her something. Put 55 plus on something. 55 years loving Bay County students, administrators. What a lady. What a legend. Talking about legendary places, I can't wait. Hope she'll get down there. Her and her family needs to get down to historical downtown Panama City. The local 115. We got to do, Vandergrift. We got to do something special for him. Judy. She was incredible. They both.
And Don,
Don, they were unbelievable people. They still are. Their little baby boy, he started a business down there, him and some of his local partners, and they started a local 115. And I love one thing they did. They brought back the salad bar. You don't see salad bars anywhere anymore. You will see it down there. Go fix you a good salad. You got to get out of there quick. During lunchtime, get your salad, get out. But it's a unique place. It's an oyster bar sports theme. If you played sports in Bay County, a cheerleader, band member, your picture's probably down there. It's loaded with all local stuff down there. Oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbo, soup, salads, wings, ice cold beer, nothing fried, healthier option, lunch and dinner. The local 115. And I'm going to get back to Appreciation Day. I appreciate Glenn Manley, 30-plus something years at Bay High School. I hope they name something after you. I would like a practice field or something would be nice. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, the thing Janice would love, she's big academics, not athletics so much, but academics, she's unbelievable. The Media Center at Arnold, wouldn't that be cool to be called the Janice Solaris Media Center?
Yeah, it would be.
I think that would be. Brett, are you listening? Mr. Smith, y'all listening? Jerry Rest, are you listening? That would be awesome. Solaris Media Center.
There you go.
I like that. All right, we'll be right back. It is Solaris Day, right on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
I hate Monday.
Yeah, you've been nice today.
He's an old.
I'm trying to do the Alabama update.
Yeah, we know.
Brutally interrupted by two people.
Is that the medical term for it?
Yep.
I'm in the fourth quarter. The clock's running. I have no more timeouts. I'm going to change my ways.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a light breeze at 6 miles per hour coming out of the southwest. For tonight, a variety of partly cloudy skies and slight fog and a low near 59. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning and then some clouds and a high around 69. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia during the President's Day sale going on all month long. Are you looking for a fuel-efficient SUV that doesn't compromise on style, comfort, and performance? Stop in today at Bill Bird Kia and let our team put you behind the wheel of your new Kia. Bill Bird Kia is now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento. Bill Bird Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento with $1,748 per month per $1,000 finance in 60 months. Qualities limited, cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete detail. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/3/25.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida. The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels Studio.
They got something that money couldn't buy.
I was noticing when you come down the stairs that you've got pretty legs.
All right, I'll tell you a story without a happy ending. Y'all following this?
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll. Alabama Update is brought to you by the one and only Steverson Air Conditioning. Jason, as a young man, did great things in his life. He went to Mosley High School, graduated. He decided to start a business. He did. It's expanded throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Does an incredible job. You had to expand like he has. Most honest, hardworking guy I know out there. Families involved in the business. They do an incredible job. If you're listening right now in the Panhandle of Florida, they can get to you. If it breaks down anytime, day or night, don't call some national company. We had a guy that stopped us at J. Michaels. He said, I listened to your show. He said, I called Stevenson Eric. I was with another company. I won't say the name of it. Or should I? Anyway, I won't. And he goes, they tell me it'd be a week before they get out there. I called Stevenson Air Condition. They came out there that day. I said, well, they can. They'll get there as soon. Maybe not the same day, but they'll get there as soon as they can. He said, well, they're my new customer. And you know what? I don't think they charged him much because he thought it was something really bad, and it was something they just kind of fixed real quickly. So if they did charge, it wasn't very much. But they got a customer for life there. That's how they are. They're hardworking, honest, great people. Don't go with national, go local. Go Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Today, I'd like to talk to you about Julio Jones, an unbelievable football player for the University of Alabama. He started the big-time success at Nick Saban. He was the recruit that saved the Crimson Tide. I really believe that. Once they got him, things started rolling in the right direction. But before we do that, I know you're looking forward to hearing this. We also want to talk about the competition at quarterback in the spring at Alabama, which I think is pretty big. I don't think it's the biggest, but I think it's huge. But let's bring on somebody else that's really huge. Huge. And that is the one and only.
Calling you huge.
The one and only Michigan Eddie. I wouldn't interrupt Alabama for many people. I would for him. And I wouldn't complain about it. I just do it, as far as you know. Good morning, sir.
Go Booze, right there, around 20 back to. Hey, here's the thing. I love it, interrupting your Alabama update. I love it. Stevenson Air Conditioning, they're great people. I see their trucks all over the place, especially when I drop off kids at school. I see their trucks all over the place. Anyway, talking about your beloved Steelers.
Yes, thank you.
They don't need a quarterback.
Well, they got
two of them. Fields was playing good before he got benched because Wilson came back. So if the Wilson experiment fails, they got Fields, who did very good when he was in there at the beginning of the year. They need a wide receiver.
Yeah, that's
who do they got to receive? Or they need another running back to complement Najee Harris in the backfield.
Najee Harris is gone. He's not going to be with them. I'm telling you, he's going to cost them too much money. I don't think he'll be there. I think they're going to trade him.
Yeah. And here's another thing,
which
too.
I hate, by the way. He's a great player.
And to keep it in the same division, did you hear what the Browns are thinking of doing?
No, what?
The mistake on the lake, Cleveland. Well, they're thinking of trading their pick or whatever and getting J.J. McCarthy.
Wow.
And the Vikings are keeping Sam Darnold because he's beloved in the locker room and all that, and he's earned the right for what he helped the Vikings do last year, even though my Lions whooped their keister and all that. But they're thinking of J.J. going to Cleveland. Ain't that ironic?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, J.J., all he does is beat Ohio. Now he's going to go play for the Browns and try to save that struggling franchise, which is pathetic.
Yeah, I used to love the Browns. I like, because of former Bama player Ozzie Newsome, I like the Browns. And Hanford Dixon. I played with Hanford at Southern Mississippi, and he played there, did a great job. Go back to Steelers. You're probably too young, but do you remember? Yeah, you're too young. But back in the 70s, man, they were like Alabama football. It was the Steelers and Bama.
Yeah, they were great. Mean Joe Green. You had Franco Harris. You had Terry Bradshaw. You had who was there? You had Lynn Swan. I do know a sports coach. I'm not an idiot. Thank you.
Well, I didn't say you were.
Well, you're implying
I didn't say on air anyway.
We were just saying you may not have been old enough.
Hello,
Thank you,
Coach.
Glenn.
Hello,
Thank you,
Coach
man.
Manley.
How are you?
Hello, Coach Brian. I'm doing all right until Coach kicks me off. You know how it is.
Brian, when he heard you were on, Brian left. He couldn't handle it. He said, I got to go. He left.
I tell you, you better get your J.J. McCarthy rookie cards while he's in a Vikings uniform, if that's true. Just saying.
Wow.
Right, Brian?
Brian's not here.
Brian's not here. I told you 3 times.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No, he left. He just, I can't handle it. I cannot handle it anymore, Michigan Eddie. Anyway, why didn't you call yesterday? The Buckeye boys wanted to talk to you.
I'm busy, man.
All right.
My life doesn't revolve around your show, Coach.
It should.
Until you start putting me on the payroll.
Hey, listen, it's Jan Solaris days. What do you think about that, Michigan Eddie? You respect people that do great things, excellence. And she's 55-plus years, still working for Bay District Schools. Love that lady. Highly intelligent, beautiful inside and out. Won't you want to say something about her? What do you want to say? Something like congratulations or something? Something nice?
Congratulations. Appreciate your loyalty and sacrifice to the kids and the people of Bay County, because you don't find that loyalty these days. It's all about number one, where they go for the almighty dollar instead of the love of the job. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, and that's the thing about today's world. You know, I'll be honest with you. A lot of us can make more money than what
teachers, administrators.
I mean, we can make our skill set allow us to make more money.
Yes.
Than the current jobs we're in, but the people you work with, the love of the job, and all that is more important than the evil green dollar. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's more important. A lot of people, as long as you're living a comfortable life and can provide for your family and you're happy, that's more than a weight in gold, man. You know, so thank you for that, because a lot of people offer number one, and it just shows with college football, college athletics, NIL, and all that crap. Where a lot of these kids, they're not in it for the team, like Bo Schembecker said. They're for themselves and what the greenback. That makes me sick.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's one of the reasons I'm still doing this. I mean, there are times I don't want to do this at all. I'd rather be doing something else, traveling. You know, I'm in the fourth quarter. But then I think, what would happen to Wildcat if I left? What would happen to his life? What would Glenn do if I was gone? So I work for these two. I'm here because of Glenn Manley and Wildcat. I want to help their lives be better.
And isn't it also because you're scared of flying?
A little bit.
Right now, I would say that kind of enters in a lot of people's mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get in an airplane. Hey, listen, we got to take a break. Appreciate you calling.
Hold on, real quick. Flying's still safer than driving, to be honest with you. And the stuff that's happened, accidents happen, and how often do mishaps happen there? Very rarely. It just happened. You had a couple that happened in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So don't worry about flying. Just saying, take it from an airport guy.
Well,
Love you guys.
as long as you're flying, I would be happy. But I don't think you would bounce and turn the plane over and you know.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling and interrupting and ruining a great update. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate it.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, no problem. Go Blue. I'm
Hey,
out.
we talked about the lunch specials today. J. Michael's Restaurant, world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. Go check it out. You will absolutely love it. They only do it on Wednesdays. Lunch and dinner, it will be packed out. It's that good. Also, the best seafood, the coldest beer, the legendary J. Michael's. Don't forget about if you're over in Lynn Haven, get to Beef O'Brady's today. 10 wings and a side for $9.99. And it's not only the food's outstanding, it's the way they treat you. They treat you like family. Wonderful people there. Pat's the city commissioner of Lynn Haven, does a great job. He owns Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven, does an incredible job. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Great place to watch all the NCAA basketball, baseball games right down at Beef O'Brady's. Oh, could I have time to do my Julio Jones? No. Thank you, Michigan. He ruined it, man. I was all pumped up about that. We'll be right back, 104.3. And don't forget, it is Jan Solaris Day right here on the legendary 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Hold on.
How many piercings do you have?
Not going there. Anyways.
Easy.
Answer that question, LSU Jeff.
Whoa!
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a light breeze at 6 miles per hour coming out of the southwest. For tonight, a variety of partly cloudy skies and slight fog and a low near 59. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning and then some clouds and a high around 69. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna. Love those Auburn Tigers and their fans throughout the Panhandle of Florida. And I will say this, man, you wouldn't believe all the texts I'm getting about Jan Solaris. Jerry Brescher called. We couldn't get him on. He is a legendary not superintendent, but could be. He's an unbelievable school board member, principal for years, and he was just going on about Janice. All these people were saying great things about Mrs. Solaris. It's her day on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 55 plus years. And one thing, she loved two schools she loved. She loved the Auburn Tigers, and she loves FSU. Now, we were even thinking about having the school colors like Auburn, and she said what she did. And I didn't pick the school colors. Julie had nothing to do with it. Janice said we're going to let the kids decide the colors. And she did that over at Petronas because they would one day be going to Arnold. And they picked the colors, our true colors at Arnold. And I've never in my life seen this happen. The school changed colors. Never. Our colors are silver, white, and navy, not royal blue. People thought that we had picked the colors, and people didn't like us that were at Arnold, and they changed the colors. They can say what they want. That's what really happened. But that's fine. The colors now are royal, white, and silver. But the original colors were not picked by me, not picked by my wife, not picked by Janice. She let the students pick the colors. And the real colors are silver, navy, and white. And I liked that. I thought it looked pretty good. I was like, for Auburn, I thought the Auburn uniforms are beautiful. I'd have been okay with that. But they look good now. The Royal, and they look like the Lions now, kind of like the Lions. And that looks good, too. But that's a fact, what I just told you. But unbelievable. Auburn Tigers, SEC standings and basketball. I'm going to break them down real quick for you. We all know the Auburn's #1 team across the country. In every poll, Auburn's #1. Number 2, Alabama, and they just went ahead of Florida because Florida lost. Number 4, Tennessee, Missouri, and Texas A&M are all tied at number 4. At 7th, it's Ole Miss. At number 8, it's Mississippi State. Number 10 is Vandy. Number 11 is a tie between Texas and Arkansas in the standings, in the SEC standings as we speak. 13's Oklahoma and Georgia. Georgia just went ahead of them probably because they beat Florida. And I don't think Oklahoma played last night. I could be wrong on that. LSU, 15th, and 16th is South Carolina. Glenn, we're going to skip the rest of the Auburn update to give us time to talk about Newbies. Get out Newbies, have a great time. 4 wonderful locations. Newbies 2 on the Curve is unbelievable. The mothership down the road, get down there, have a great time. You run to people you haven't seen for years. The best bands in the Southeast, because Charlotte wants that, and she gets what she wants. Her and John always giving back to the community. Let's go support all 4 of the Newbies and tell them Coach sent you.
The one on Bayview is doing really well.
That's a beautiful blue building.
It is. I talked to John about 2 weeks ago, and he said they're really doing well. They're adding stuff every week. So
love those. They're wonderful people. Listen, what do you got for us today on FSU?
I missed something local. I want to give a shout out to this young lady. Her name is Aaliyah Willett. She is Rutherford weightlifter. She won the state in traditional in the 119 class. First time in 64-year history of the school that they had a female weightlifter, and maybe a male one too. But congratulations to that young lady. I just wanted to get that out there. Okay, now, as we all know, the basketball team is doing fairly well compared to some of the others. They're ranked number 11th in the ACC. They are 16-12 and 7-10 in the ACC, and they will play at Duke on Saturday, which is not going to be fun. The women's basketball team is number 4 in the ACC. They are 12-4 in the ACC and 19-8 overall, and they are at Notre Dame on Thursday. The baseball team is 7-0. They're ranked number 8 in the ESP poll. They were playing at Jacksonville. They were supposed to play last night, and it got postponed because of the weather, and so they're playing it tonight at 6 Eastern. They will play at Jacksonville, and if you had a ticket to go last night, then your ticket's good tonight. And so also in the ESPN ratings, the top 10 in baseball is Texas A&M, and then it's LSU. Tennessee's number 3, Arkansas 4, University of North Carolina 5, Georgia 6, FSU 7, Florida number 8, Oregon State 9, and Virginia is number 10. And then the FSU softball, you want to reach out to them. They're doing well. They will play Friday and Saturday. They have the Dugout Classic, and they will play on Saturday Gulf Coast College at 2 and Mercer at 4:30. And then on Saturday, they will play Mercer at 2 o'clock and then College of Charleston at 4:30. So they'll have 4 games this week coming in, and so that they're doing really well. They are 11-3. They are ranked number 8 in the ESPN poll. Oklahoma and Texas are 1 and 2, depending on what poll you are. Oklahoma's 14-0 and Texas is 15-1. Florida's number 3 at 18-1. This is a women's softball. Number 4 is UCLA at 14-2. Number 5, Texas A&M beat FSU this past weekend. They didn't move up any. They're still at number 5 at 15-1. LSU is number 6 at 14-0. Tennessee is number 7 at 13-3. FSU is 8 at 11-3. Duke is 9 at 13-2, and Arizona is 10 at 15-2. So that's how everything's going right now. And looking up the midweek games for colleges, and I'm sure the same thing's true with Florida. We can talk to Mark, but usually you give the guys that don't start on the weekends a chance to start and come out, and sometimes you play other people instead of your starters all the time, because you got to get the experience in there. It really all doesn't start until, about midway through the season when they start ranking them, and then the tournaments are coming up, and then all you want to do is get to the regional finals and host so that you can make it all the way to out there to Omaha. So. Yeah.
Well, I will give FSU credit for another thing, Coach Norvell. The first coach, and tell me if I'm wrong, I think we're correct on this, they flat out said a long time ago they're not going to have a spring football game, and they used the excuse, which is not an excuse, it's truly happening, the construction of the stadium. Since then, it's been like crazy. The latest school, and it probably changed already today, the latest school to drop a spring football game is NC State out of the ACC. They become the latest to drop 2025 spring football. Texas, USC, Nebraska, FSU. That's blue bloods. That's 4 blue bloods right there. No spring football game. Now, Texas, USC, and Nebraska, they all have nice stadiums. Nebraska averages 60,000 when people have a red white game in the spring. USC, nobody goes to their games like they used to in the past, so it's no big deal. Texas, they get big crowds, spring games and stuff like that. Alabama, I was going to mention today, Coach had mentioned they're going to have a spring game. It's going to be totally different than it's done in the past. So everything's being changed. Who knows? Ole Miss last year didn't play a spring football game. They shot basketballs and did some crazy stuff. So I guess this is the beginning of the end for spring football. We shall see. And I'm going to ask Mark McLeod about it, but I will go back and say, I was a coach. I know where a lot of this is coming from. They can say whatever they want to say, which is BS about the 15 practices this season has been long. They don't get that's BS. Mm-hmm. They don't want to have to name certain positions. They don't want to name the starting quarterback. Players are not stupid. If you go ones against twos, if you have selections and things like that, everybody knows who they're going with the number 1 quarterback. So the number 2 and number 3 guys get their feelings hurt, and they start looking around. Hey, I'm not going to be the starting quarterback here. I know one school is worried about it right now, and that's University of Alabama. They want all 3 of those guys to be there in August. They don't want to lose them, and they're 3 capable players, so they don't want to lose them. Texas has got Manning, but they've got another kid there that can play that's really good. Nobody even talks about. I wouldn't be shocked if he's the guy. I mean, maybe a little bit. But that's the reason all these college coaches can say everything they want. They always got a reason for what they're doing. They don't have to name starters. If you name starters, they're going to get upset at every position if they're not a starter, and they start looking around. Another reason I truly believe they don't want to play these games, and they'll tell you that, other schools watch the spring game. They find out, hey, we need tight ends, okay? Man, Nebraska's got 3 great tight ends. Let's go after their backup tight end. We don't get the first team guy. Let's get their backup. Sure enough, you can start here at, say we're Oklahoma. You come here, you're going to start at tight end. And what's the kid do? He's going to go where he can play, and we're going to match your NIL money, maybe give you a little bit more. So that kind of eliminates that people don't see what's going on. And Matt Rule, the coach there, more or less said that. Yeah. He more or less said the things we're talking about.
So much for competition and being loyal to your school. It doesn't count. It doesn't count anymore.
Dead.
Well, FSU had a tight end that left last year and went to Arizona.
Yeah,
he's back.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he came back. Wow. So
with open arms?
I guess. I would say, okay, here's the deal, But spring practice, it's more than just the players. It affects people's revenue around the town and things, because people come to watch, and the concessions and all the gear you sell and all that. Yeah. So it affects everything.
And it gives the average guy a chance to go watch a game at FSU, at Alabama, that maybe can't afford paying all those fees just to get in line, to get in the ticket line, to even be able to buy a ticket,
I hope this doesn't happen, but it may be like the Super Bowl, where only the companies, the corporations can get tickets.
Who knows?
Everybody's building those new boxes to put more money
in. Smaller stadiums, more money. Yeah, smart. Yeah. And I love Coach Stark. I think he's one of the great coaches. I love him. But when he said, we've had a long season, and, we only have 15 practices, They've always only had 15 practices, and they always play a spring game. And the season's so long. A spring football game, the clock runs in the second half. Yeah. Some of them that runs the entire game. And he could do that. He's the boss. He can make the clock run the whole game. So all that BS he's saying, it ain't all about that.
Right.
Maybe a little bit, but it ain't all about that. So I guess we're seeing the beginning of the end of spring football. Who knows what's going to happen in the future of bowl games? Brian had the answer for that. Let's play the bowl games, begin the season. I think that was a great idea. All right, FSU Update has been brought to you by Glenn Manley and Newbies. Get out to all 4 Newbies. Have a great time. The Mothership Spring Break's getting ready to get kicked in. We'll have, I think it was the first weekend. This weekend we'll have some people here. Everybody gets down to Newbies during the spring break and during the summertime. The legendary place. You run to people you hadn't seen for years. Get out to Newbies. Have a great time. Also, we got so many things going on today. The specials at J. Michael's, the specials at Beef O'Brady's. You're over in town, get out to Beef O'Brady's, 10 wings inside for $9.99. If you're on the beach, there's only one place you want to go today. That is the legendary J. Michael's. For all your real estate closing, it's South Oak, Taunton Closing, and Chuck Tucker. They do an incredible job. If you have any concerns about heating and cooling your house, it's Stevenson Air Conditioning. Do you want your power bill to go down? Do you actually want your house cooled off in the summer? Do you want it warm in the winter? It's Stevenson Air Conditioning, and that's it. Nobody else. Local company. Locals taking care of locals. Legendary doctor, Dr. Chad Mitchell, 25 years. People come from everywhere just to have Chad Mitchell operate on them. The guy is incredible. The legend, Chad Mitchell, every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Turf Pro Pest Control. Patrick does such a wonderful job. Your yard will look absolutely beautiful, and your house will have no insects at all. I tell you what, they do a great job. They're throughout the Panhandle. They're throughout Bay Point. Turf Pro Pest Control. Patrick comes on every Monday around 8:30, trying to get him to come a little bit earlier. Just don't tell Randy. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
And this might be one of those moments with the Kansas City Chiefs where you got to make some hard decisions this offseason. Patrick Mahomes may say to Andy Reid and the front office, you got to help me a little bit here. The dink and dunk is fine. You know, we got a couple of good running backs, but I need something.
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
The world's #1 auto brand is a lot of fun. Camrys and Tacomas, Land Cruisers and Grand Highlanders. Toyotas are just built to be better.
And that's exactly how we built Panama City Toyota, to give you a better experience.
Where your needs always come first. Where you can relax with a great cup of coffee or browse the Heritage Collection. Or we help you add the perfect vehicle to your collection. Come see us today at Panama City Toyota.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Clear, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you. Serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
If aliens showed up tomorrow and said, take us to your leader, you'd bring them to the Coach James Hale Show.
Danger, Bill Robinson, danger.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
When you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
The Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! And we got the Gator himself. The next best thing to Steve Spurrier.
There you go.
It's Mark McLeod. It is Solaris Day here. If you see Jan Solaris today, tell her how much you appreciate her. 55-plus years taking care of Bay County athletes, students, and everything. I mean, really,
administrators.
Everything. Teachers, everything. Let's bring in Mark. Mark, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, doing well, Coach. Didn't hear a very rousing Go Gators from those other guys in the studio. I don't know what's going on.
There's only one. That's me.
Yeah, well, we ran them all out of here. We got mad at them, said, get out.
Hey, let me. I was going to the basketball game last night. From a coach's standpoint and an official standpoint, when you're down that far and you scratch and claw to get back, it takes a lot out of you to get to that point to tie it. And then to get a little bit ahead, but you know what? You're almost exhausted. I don't care what anybody says. And then, I used to get on the officials quite a bit, even though I was one. But I couldn't blame them. They didn't miss the free throws, they didn't miss the shot, and they didn't miss the rebound. So, when you start doing that, but I tell you what, to do that, I don't think people realize how hard you have to work to get back in the ball game that far down. So
yeah, you're right, Coach. And they're on the road. They're on the road. They're not at home. That's 26 points down. They battle back. They take the lead, and of course my first thought is, well, Conrad Moon just lost his pants off on that one. But then he got me back. So anyway, I peed my pants.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, you're shooting after you catch up, and because your legs are kind of gone, so you don't have the same pop when you shoot and stuff like that. But Brian told me to tell you that, Coach White is getting his revenge. So,
Brian's right. Yeah, the shooting was horrible. Alex Condon, first game back, but 1 of 7. You had Elijah Martin was struggling. He was 2 for 7. Walter Clayton Jr. was 5 of 13, I believe, if memory serves me correct. And, of course, Thomas Hott, I don't know where he went. He's been fabulous of late, and he was only 3 of 11. So, you've got that. They only pulled down 34 rebounds in the game. And as you said, Coach, the free throw shooting, my goodness. At one point, I want to say it was late in the first half, maybe even early in the second half, Florida was 9 of 18 from the free throw line. And I'm sitting there thinking, good grief, Shaquille O'Neal is shooting free throws for the Gators, but it was awful. It was as bad a performance as it could be. They had some real lapses on defense. It was tough.
Our coaches, when I was in high school, would get all over us for free throws if you miss them. They can't guard you. They can't say anything to you. How can you miss it?
Mark, I'll be honest with you, that shocked me. When I found out Florida lost, I thought, you got to be kidding me. To Georgia? How did they get 26 up? What the heck happened?
Yeah, they came out of the gate, and Georgia was just lighting it up. You had what's his name, Silas. He was killing it. He went off in the first half for Georgia, and then of course you had Florida just not shooting the ball well, as Coach said. And then when they got to the free throw line, they couldn't knock the shot down. Had a bunch of defensive lapses, and it just was ugly. And Georgia, next thing you know, Georgia's up 26, I believe it was. And I'm sitting there looking at this, going, "You got to be kidding me!" And to their credit, they battled back. They took the lead and had it right there in front of them. And then you leave a guy open on a three-point shot who had just been subbed in to knock it down, and you knew that's what he was going to do. And then you miss a key shot from the free throw line. It just anything that could go wrong did go wrong. And even after Florida battled back and took the lead, then in those last 50 seconds or so, it was all Georgia.
Unbelievable. And you know what? Maybe this is a good. I always say it doesn't happen to you; it happens for you. Setback to come back, negative to positive. So maybe they can use this to get stronger as the year goes on. Auburn, got to give Auburn credit. Florida goes into Auburn, beats them, and what didn't even look close. And Auburn's looked really good since then. I mean, they're still the number one team in the country. The good things have happened since then. Do you think this is going to help Florida in any way?
Well, I hope it serves as a wake-up call. Again, now you get Alex Condon back. That's good news for Florida. That's good news. He's missed a little over 2 weeks now with that ankle sprain. So you get him back. You've had Micah Handlon-Logden, who's played very well for Florida overall. He just didn't get many minutes last night, but boy, they needed him. They needed him more minutes. And Will Richard was the real key for Florida. I mean, if it wasn't for Will Richard, Florida would have got blown out. They really would have got blown out in Stigman. So it was a very strange game. Denzel Aberdeen, who's played a lot of minutes for Florida, had his struggles in the last game, and Coach Golden cut him down to 8 minutes this week. So there's some stuff going on at Florida. They need to get some guys going, and you've got tough games finishing out March. Number 7 Texas A&M, number 4 Alabama on the road, and number 24 Ole Miss before the SEC tournament.
Yeah, well, a couple things basketball-wise. When you get somebody back, they haven't been with you. I know he's been going through rehab. I know he's been at practice and things like that. But sometimes when you get, and I'm not saying this is going on at Florida, but sometimes after coaching all these years, when you get somebody back and they're healthy, they kind of expect to walk right in there and just get the position back. And sometimes, you don't do that. The guy that's been there has done a pretty good job. Maybe there's, I'm not saying it is, but maybe there's something there about that. I don't know. I'm just making excuses for Florida basketball right now.
Yeah, well, you look at Alex Condon. I mean, he's all having the all SEC season. He really is. And there was a lot of talk about Alex Condon on the NBA draft boards. I've seen some of that talk when I've surfed the web a little bit. So he's playing well, but again, first game back in 2.5 weeks, just in terms of shooting, it was really bad for him. 0 for 3 from three-point territory. He was the only guy doing it at the free throw line, really, though. 7 of 9. Clayton hit some good free throws, but outside of that, it was just a bad night for Florida overall. Maybe this does, Coach, serve as a wake-up call because you've got big games that would help your strength of schedule and everything coming up with Texas A&M, Bama, and Ole Miss.
Yeah, and they were tied with Alabama in second place in SEC, and that hurts them if Bama continues to do well. How big is that, Mark, the rankings and the lineup of the conference going into the tournament? Is that a big deal when you rank 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I think the bigger deal is the postseason, Coach. I really do.
Yeah.
When you look at some of the tournament projections, Florida, you go back a week ago, Florida was a 1 seed. They're a 1 seed all the way. This helps Georgia tremendously because Georgia's a bubble team, and Georgia now needs to keep winning. They need to win a couple more games and try to get themselves in the tournament. But for Florida, you look at Florida, and the last 2 or 3 games, they've had moments within those games where they just haven't looked good. They've had 2 games in a row now, or 2 of their last 3 games, I'm sorry, where they've fallen behind early and had to battle back to go take the lead. So it hasn't been a good look for Florida, and now you're seeing some of the guys making these projections saying Florida's not a 1 seed, they're a 2 seed, and they're going to have to hang on to that.
All right, let's get into some baseball. Baseball is doing really well. What are you hearing? What's going on in Florida baseball?
Woo, nice win over Stetson last night, a little controversial game. Stetson, as my understanding, Stetson protested the game, so we'll see what happens.
Wow.
They had a play in the 7th inning where they had a guy reach base, and he came around and scored, but they ruled him out because later on they ruled him out because of the safety bag rule, which you guys are familiar with that safety bag rule now in college baseball. There are things I like about, things I don't like. Well, when he got the hit, went to first base, he did not step on the colored part of the bag. So that's a violation, and they ruled him out, and Stetson just had a fit. Well, the thing that cracks me up, guys, is what do you expect to see when that happens? Florida ends up beating Stetson, which they beat him 6-1. That wasn't the only difference. That wasn't a difference in the game. But what happened? Oh, SEC. This is SEC. Florida. This is Florida in the SEC. Blah blah blah. You doofuses, the game was in DeLand at Stetson.
Right.
This is not a Florida issue, so you might want to rethink and figure things out before you comment on it. But yeah, good win for Florida. Florida's looking really good right now. Big weekend. Big night tonight with UNF. UNF, North Florida, plays good baseball. And then this weekend, guys, Miami, I got a call from Scott Climo yesterday, and he and I talked for a bit. Some of the guys from Panama City are coming down, so I'm hoping to get over there Friday night and sit in the stands with them and enjoy it from the stands.
So that game's in Gainesville then. I don't know why I thought that was in Miami.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, series is in Gainesville. Miami's
struggling,
a whole new
man.
team.
They're
a whole new team.
Yeah, they're not as good right now. I mean, what we're used to, right?
Right. No, look. This again. When I say it's a whole new team, it is a whole new team. This is a Miami. As I was doing some research on this game yesterday, I'm like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't know who they are. It's like watching Major League.
Well, they're all from Puerto Rico or Venezuela, is what I heard. That's all I know.
We're so used to them being really good. They're struggling this year. Hey, Mark, we got to take a break. We'll come back and finish with Mark McLeod. Spring football is cranked up in about 8 days or 7 days, whatever it is. Mark will give us a little rundown on that. And everything else is going up. Hey, softball team, everything. Florida's good in everything. They got it rolling pretty good right now.
Softball's number 3, yeah.
Yeah. Where we at? Let's talk about some of our great people. Paparazzi Pizza. You love pizza? It's Paparazzi. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Try the bakery. It's incredible.
They have daily specials, too. Then.
$11 and some change. Lunch, Glenn, you can buy me lunch you like.
All right.
Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? You want get some good sleep? They got everything natural for you right down there at Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Jason will be here Friday. Got a lot of questions for him, but scholarships now are almost impossible to get for high school athletics. You want your kid and daughter to have a little bit of edge. Go see Jason at Max Fit Sports Nutrition. They can help you in every way possible. The guy is incredible. Hey, when we're down at Beef O'Brady's Day having that lunch special, let's head on down to see Russ and Amber.
Gold is at an all-time high. So we
got to get Janice a 55-plus necklace or something.
They can custom make it right there in-house, or they can repair some old jewelry if you had it. They do it all right there at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, Highway 77, Lynn Haven.
The living legend, Janice Solaris, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. It's her day. It's her day.
Her day. She's busy, or she's
busy. Yeah.
She's in a meeting right now.
She's always meeting. We'll be right back with Mark McLeod, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Aaron needs a third act. You do not want to be remembered. Favre had success in Minnesota. Peyton Manning wins a Super Bowl in Denver. Tomlin wins in Tampa. You're known as a quarterback that leaves Green Bay, and the Packers the next year are better without you, and you bomb in New York.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a light breeze at 6 miles per hour coming out of the southwest. For tonight, a variety of partly cloudy skies, slight fog, and a low near 59. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning and then some clouds and a high around 69. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey! No, they're saying babe. Babe.
Turn his light down.
Oh. Babe!
You knew he was.
It is Bay Day. Wednesday's Bay Day, Solaris Day, and it's always Mark McLeod.
That's right.
Always.
How'd you like them hollering Bay in that song? I loved it.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hey, I was going to
wait a minute, Dr. Manley. Wait a minute. You started it. Hey, guess what, Mark? Arnold just won another back-to-back state championship in soccer.
Did they really?
Yes, they did.
Goodness.
Take that, Manley.
Where'd the coach come from?
I don't know. Sebring. I don't know.
Sebring. The sand crabs out of Daytona. Hey, listen, I was going to tell you about that safety bag. You know, the green thing. I thought, it makes more sense if you have to touch it running to first to be it out of throw. But when you make the turn, if you have to touch that bag, you could sprain an ankle because, how many years have you worked on making the cut and touching the edge of the bag and going and, they're thinking about safety. They think about safety, but they don't really put a lot of thought into it. They just say, hey, let's be safe.
Did they go back and look at the video?
I don't know, but that would be a stupid call to make to me.
Yeah.
So,
SEC they get what they want. All right, Mark, let's jump into SEC football, the second best football conference in America. I love getting him going. But seriously, I do want to say, real quick, softball, if you look at the different polls, I forgot which one this one is, but Florida, Oklahoma's number 1, and this one, Texas is number 2, and Florida's number 3. I think they're 18-1. They're really good. Baseball's outstanding. Football, I think we're back. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think we're back. And I will give Coach Spurrier credit. Before this season, we were all like, what? 8 wins for that schedule? They got to the number. I remember I said, I'm going to go with the all-ball coach. I got them going 8, and they won 8 games. This schedule's brutal. Talk about spring football. They're getting ready to get cranked up. What are you hearing? What's going on down there?
Yeah, the thing that I've been looking at is who's back, who's potentially going to be starters for Florida. Right now, you look at the Florida offense, you've got 85 starts on that offensive line alone coming back.
Wow.
Now, again, we know there's a spring portal. We all get that. But who's going to play right tackle for Florida? That's the key. Really, they don't have anybody. They have 2 guys who played a bit, but they don't have anybody who's really got any starts. At tight end, you got Aiden Hansen back, 22 starts. Trey Wilson has 11 starts, even though he was injured much of last year. And now the kid they brought in, Sturdivant, J. Michael Sturdivant from UCLA, has 30 starts as a college player. Lagway has a few now. Jaden Ball has a few. Jacoby Jackson. I mean, Florida really, you look across the board, and with what happened last year with injuries and just being a long season, it's just insane with the talent they played. That's really tough. So 162 starts on the Florida offense just from the guys we know, and that doesn't even include whoever may play right tackle. The defensive side of the ball, right now, guys, I'm looking at 107 starts, and I think the key for all this is when I started looking at the reserves, offensively and defensively, you've got a few starts here, a few starts there, but guys that have played football. And at Florida, that hasn't been the case. But Napier has done a good job of continuity and keeping these guys together. And, you get them in the weight room, get them bigger, stronger, faster. If they can continue that, get the freshmen on board. Yeah, you're right, Coach. Florida could be a pretty good team. And you look at the on-3 that Ari Wasserman did with a way too early All-America team. Good grief, Florida had 2 players on that team.
Yeah,
Slaughter, DJ Lagway, quarterback. And the SEC dominated with 11 players. So that's insane.
I'm glad you brought that up, production returning. The ESPN did a little survey, and I remember every position doesn't carry the same value. Obviously, quarterback is a big position. But they did their little statistics here, and throughout the country, SEC looks like they're in pretty decent shape. But Texas A&M out of the SEC had the 6th most production returning for the 2025 football season. Vandy was at number 8. Oklahoma, believe it or not, was number 10. And the Florida Gators in the nation, 4th in the SEC, but 18th in the country with production returning. Again, quarterback is a big play, big position, having people return. But let me ask you about this. All this production coming back, it doesn't mean anything. Who knows what's going to happen between now and the first game, because we know people can transfer in, transfer out. But saying all that, I heard Stark talk about they're pulling out of the spring football game, that they've had a long season. They only have 15 practice. I started laughing at that. I love that guy. He's a great guy. There's no doubt about that. But the bottom line is the coaches do not want to name the starters. And you go through a spring football, I talked about this with Glenn earlier today. You know, these guys aren't stupid. They get their feelings hurt. They're battling for the number one job, and any kind of indication they're not going to be the guy, they're going to start looking. And I like what Matt Rule said. He said the truth. I really don't want to play spring football, even though 60,000 people will be here watching the game. I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose a backup. I don't want to lose a starter. And we used the example, they had say they got 3 really good tight ends. And this is, say, for argument's sake, it's Oklahoma or whoever. Southern Mississippi couldn't buy anything. But somebody, they need a tight end. They find out, hey, Nebraska got 3 great tight ends. That second team guy, we might not get their first guy. Let's go after the backup. They give him as much money or maybe a little bit more. Well, hell, he's going to leave and go to the school he can start at and make a little bit more money. So that's the bottom line about these spring games. It's not about how length of the season. It's not about how many practices they have. They control how the game can be. But the growing list of people pulling out of spring football, they don't want to lose their players, and I get it. I understand where they're coming from. I hate it, though. I like spring football games. They're boring, but as a player, we look forward to that. Maybe they don't look forward to it anymore. What's your take on all that?
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you. And look, it's good for the fans. I know a lot of fans they're just itching for some football, right?
You're right.
They'll go to the spring game, even though, as you say, most of it is boring. But it's also good opportunity to get a glimpse into the future, to see some of these young guys and what did they do, in the off season. Those kids that were freshmen or redshirt freshmen or sophomores. So, and you get a good opportunity to get at least a bird's eye view of your team. But now it's another slap in the face to the fans that they're not going to get to do this, because we all know behind the scenes these guys have agents, and behind the scenes these agents are playing it up because they want more money. And they want more money for themselves and certainly for their player. And, you already have Ricky Gibson at Tennessee. Rumors are he's going to hit the transfer portal, one of the corners at Tennessee. And, they've got to try to find a way to get it under control. But you've got coaches that are saying, and you got coaches that are saying, look, I got kids coming up to me just about every day of the week during the season saying, Coach, I need more money. Coach, I need more money. Coach, I need more money. You've got kids, like you said, I didn't get a start. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on now. That's not right, the way I've been treated. I should get more playing time. I played well last game. Hit the transfer portal. It's horrible. I don't know how, you guys knew how difficult it was to keep a team together and keep the continuity and try to build something and then keep it going. But my goodness, I couldn't imagine it now.
No, that's terrible.
I wouldn't even want to coach.
No.
I'd rather be in the NFL than college right now. I'm going to ask you real quick, because I saw a note you sent me. The college playoff committee seating changes. Give us a little rundown on that.
It looks like they don't want to really do a whole lot this year, except the big thing, and the one thing is seeding. They didn't like the SEC didn't like that they only got 3 teams in. The ACC didn't like where SMU started with, look how many weeks it took SMU to get any kind of notoriety from the committee. They were way down and finally made a jump up. You look at some of the other conferences. The Big 12 didn't like some things that were done. So, it's a very, and it all surrounded one thing, seeding. And so that's what they want to take care of. Then next year, the rumor is 14 teams in the college football playoff in 26. We'll see what happens, but look, they're just turning the game into the NFL, and you got to have roster updates. You see Georgia, what they made the big announcement. They're paying players directly a little over $20 million, with 75% of that going to football. It's a bizarre world that 25 years ago, if he'd have told me this was all happening, I'd have said, No. They're not going to turn college football in the NFL.
He's running us out, Mark.
Mark, thank you for coming on. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
You see Jan Solaris today, give her a hug.
All right, regional wrestling Friday and Saturday at Bay High School.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
It's that time of year again. The Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach presents the Spring Fling Juried Arts and Crafts Show, Saturday, March 8th from 9 to 3 at Frank Brown Park Recreation Center. Donation is only $1 for adults, sponsored by the Women's Civic Club of Panama City.